The COVID pandemic is having a major effect on Thailand, as it has with most countries in the world. In this video, we highlight two different opinions from two guys who commented on a Thai forum I read, and I must ask the question, is it true? Is Thailand doomed? If this is your first time on the channel, or you have returned and like the content, then can I ask you to please like, share and subscribe. It really does help me and the channel. Oh yeah, and don't forget to press the bell icon so you never miss out on upcoming videos. And if you are interested in some cool links, then check them out in the links below in the description box. There are so many differing opinions on what's happening in Thailand at the moment. Following are two different opinions. Opinion number 1. There can be little doubt that Thailand is on the verge of a crisis like it has not faced in many a year. The shambolic vaccine rollout has highlighted its inability to organise on a mass scale or even a local one. Politicians seem oblivious to the fact that the baht is falling on an almost Brexit scale as economies around the world realise it's going to be a long time before anyone makes any money here ever again. Whether you believe in the need for vaccination or not is irrelevant, as the fact remains that if at least 70% of the population is not vaccinated, it will remain on the blacklist of every other country, which in turn means all will stay shut as tourists can't get here or refuse to jump through all the hoops to facilitate a trip. And why even be bothered to come when the whole country is pretty much closed? If I was in the tourist business, I would be panicking. In fact, I would cut my losses right now, because if I didn't, I would lose everything. Closed for 18 months already, with another year or more to go before there isn't even a hope of mass vaccination. Thailand sells the few vaccines it makes to other Southeast Asian countries instead of giving it to its own people. It's hard to believe the government can care so little as its population slips further and further into real poverty than ever before. It's safe to say that if an international tourist destination like Phuket can't make it work, then there is little to no chance for any other province in the tourist game. Pattaya has fallen so far into the mire it might never get out of it, although some will say less bars selling overpriced beer is not such a bad thing. And certainly less dickheads. As an economy, Pattaya is flat broke. It's waiting on government guidance and assistance, and we all know how that goes. Lockdown is easy. Just tell people not to come and close everything. Getting out of lockdown is not easy. It requires national planning and financial management, and from what I have seen in my time here, good luck with that. The virus has unfortunately highlighted all the weak points of the country, and waiting for handouts and leftovers from more advanced nations seems to be the general policy of those tasked with fixing this total disaster. It's a shame to see Thailand in this horrible mess. Now, opinion number 2. I should ask, do we make judgment on the tourist areas alone? The desperate part of Pattaya, which is well over half closed with somewhat empty streets, is just 10% of Greater Pattaya, and most of the rest of the town is not looking so desperate at all. New ventures are opening everywhere, building stuff, new 7-Elevens, there's lots happening. I've been advertising for staff since Christmas, even had to resort to an agency, and I've had a terrible time finding staff, in spite of a very good offer. I even resorted to going down beachside for those food lines on the weekend, but no one wanted work. Most excused themselves, saying they would wait for the tourists to come back. Unemployed? Where are they? I agree, the lack of vaccines is a bum deal. The locally produced stuff is a total letdown, seriously so, but imported supplies are fought over by half the world. The vaccines ordered last year all fell through because Europe came first. That wasn't the government's fault. As much as I don't like this government, I see they got a lot right. They put their money into stimulus and incentives which created jobs and fast-tracking infrastructure projects, loads of them. They assisted exports and new industries such as tech, and I think they were correct in deciding that tourism was not going to happen, and it's not. They had the virus at bay rather well until the Burmese surge, which was unfortunate, but many may argue was inevitable. Thailand had low numbers of COVID until recently because of the good distancing measures, but it's now spreading fast, so it's unlikely it will be reduced with the current semi-lockdown, and it's barely a real lockdown. The country is not shut. I understand it's bad for bars in general, but the other 99.9% of Thailand is open. The tourism sectors are still unable to operate without any tourists and won't be getting very high numbers even when opened, so it won't even make 1% of GDP, probably not even next year. The government is trying to support more realistic industries, those that can operate now. That makes sense, surely. I was there at those food lines in Pattaya Beach. I was trying to give someone a job and I couldn't find one single taker. They mostly said they were okay waiting for the tourists to come back, or they already had a job and just came for the food. Elsewhere, the food lines are far and few between now. Most of Thailand is back at work. I don't see Thailand crashing. The baht value dropping is a breath of fresh air for exporters. The government has been trying to lower it for years and was even primed for possible manipulation to bring it down by the US. The baht lost value when they cashed in reserves recently. I am no fool. I see the negative, the problems, the displaced, but I'm also shocked. No, I'm not really shocked. I'm used to the doom and gloom of the moaners here. There's so much negativity, so much exaggeration, so much of a want to see Thailand fall mentality going around amongst many expats. It's like some are wishing for a chance to kick them while they're down. It's almost sickening at times. Seems some are somehow hurt and reaching out to get back at the victors around them. Have any of you been over to Borwin, out behind Pattaya? It feels like it's completely normal over there, business as usual. After the food handouts last Sunday, I was looking at a rather busy beach area. I went to try the new Taco Bell and they had to ask customers to wait outside. It was so busy. I am asking, why is it so negative? Why are people ignoring the positive and the progressive? I'm impressed how well the Thais have pulled through this. They have had extraordinary little, if anything like furlough. Some yes, and a range of assistance programs that the government provided. Some are still running now, but it wasn't like that in the West. Not easy at all. And many didn't qualify, so they truly went without. They helped each other, and we expats helped too. They've done really well. They are just 2 points of view amongst thousands. Personally, I think Thailand will completely recover, but at what cost to the tourism industry? What are your thoughts about what's happening in Thailand? Is it true? Is Thailand doomed? Comment below.